Hi, I'm Michael Swinford, and I've been invited to speak to you tonight. It's a real honor for me to speak to your new club and to be invited to be your program. I'm sure you will enjoy being a member of Rotary. Most of you have never been in Rotary before, and you'll come to find out that it's the best service organization in the world, as I have. I've been asked to speak to you about the Rotary Foundation. First, though, let me give you a little background history of Rotary itself so that you can see how the foundation fits into Rotary. The mission of the Rotary Foundation is to enable Rotarians to advance world understanding through goodwill and peace, through the improvement of health, the support of education, and the alleviation of poverty. The foundation is a not-for-profit organization supported solely by voluntary contributions from Rotarians and Friends of Rotarians and some organizations. Rotary was the world's first service organization, founded in 1905 in Chicago in the U.S. It was founded by Paul Harris, who was an attorney and who wanted to get to know friends and network for business purposes and for social purposes as well. So he formed a small group, and they called it the Rotary Club because they rotated their meetings from one office to another. Rotary became popular. It grew and spread and had clubs in San Francisco, and then in Canada, and then overseas. And by 1921, there were Rotary clubs in 6 continents. Now we have Rotary clubs on all 7 continents, so we really are international and worldwide. By 1925, Rotary had grown to more than 2,000 clubs and a little more than 100,000 members, so you can see how popular it was and how quickly it grew. In 1932, Rotary President Herb Taylor created the 4-way test, which is an ethics test that we ask ourselves about things that we think and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Most Rotary clubs recite that at their meeting each week. So I figured that in the 30 years that I've been in Rotary, I've recited it several thousand times, because there are a number of times that I've been to more than one meeting in a week. In 1989, the organization began to admit women for the first time, and they've been a terrific addition to our membership. Today, there are 1.2 million Rotarians in 32,000 clubs in over 200 countries and territories all around the world. Back to the foundation now. In 1917, Rotary President Arch Klumpf, how's that for a name? Arch Klumpf, proposed that an endowment fund be set up for the purpose of doing good in the world. And that's what the foundation is. It's an organization to do good in the world. By 1928, so 11 years, the foundation had a fund of $5,000, so not a whole lot at that point. But the contributions really picked up in 1947 when Paul Harris died, and there was a Paul Harris Memorial Fund set up within the foundation. From there, it has really taken off. By the end of the century, 2000, more than $1 billion had been contributed to the foundation, and almost 270 million was donated in 1909 and 1910 alone. 2009 and 2010 alone. To date, more than 1 million individuals have been recognized as Paul Harris Fellows. Paul Harris Fellows are people who have had $1,000 contributed in their name to the foundation. Such strong support and Rotary involvement worldwide ensures the secure funding of the Rotary Foundation forever. There are a number of ways that you can contribute to make good things happen throughout the world. And if I were to tell you all of them and all the programs that the foundation does, it would take the rest of the week. So I'm going to give you some examples of things that we do every day and all the time with the foundation. First of all, fighting hunger. Hunger, as you know, is a serious problem all around the world, and it's really serious in terms of the children that die every year. More than 20 million children die every year from hunger and from other causes. So we have been especially involved with hunger programs and working with children. Reducing child mortality has been high on our agenda for the past several years. Second to hunger is sanitation. Sanitation and clean water is a serious problem in many places throughout the world, as you know. And thirdly, there is the problem of having clean water to drink. Those are the top three problems with child mortality: hunger, sanitation, and clean water. More than 1.8 million children died last year just from having diarrhea for unsanitary conditions. Next, promoting peace and conflict resolution. Rotary Foundation has a number of problems that are dealing in this area, and I'll name some of those in a minute. But Rotary Foundation has sponsored world peace and conflict resolution programs for about the past 50 years now. Basic education and literacy. As you know, Rotary sponsors schools and equipment for schools, books, all kinds of things for education for children and fighting literacy. If a person is illiterate, they can't get a job, or they can't get a decent job. So literacy is a key element to getting people out of poverty. Eradicating polio. I'm sure you've heard about polio eradication. Since 1985, polio eradication has been the largest single effort of the Rotary Foundation and of Rotary in general. In 1985, there were 350,000 cases of polio reported. That's almost 1,000 cases a day. In 2009 and 2010, there were a little over 1,000 cases reported for the whole year. So you can see how far we've come since 1985. If you don't know, polio is a crippling and potentially fatal disease. It's a disease that if you catch it, you may be paralyzed within the first 24 hours. What Rotary has done is inoculate and vaccinate children from all over the world. When we first started, there was polio in 150 countries around the world. Now we're down to the last 4 countries. You may know that India is one of the 4, along with Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Nigeria. From what I hear at Rotary meetings and conferences that I've been to, India will be the next country to eradicate polio. Then we'll be down to 3. So we're almost there, but not quite. And the last 3 countries are really tough. So we're working on that all the time. Let me tell you a little bit about funding. You may have heard of the polio challenge, the $200,000 challenge that Bill Gates has issued to Rotary through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Bill Gates has contributed $200 million toward a matching program for Rotarians. We Rotarians have to come up with $200 million to get his $200 million. Actually, Gates has given us $355 million, so he's done a lot more than that already. And most people don't know it, but he's already given the $200 million. So he has really given $555 million to Rotary. Most of that has gone to purchasing and delivering vaccines all around the world. So that's been a tremendous help, and it's come a long way. That program started in 2009, and we're supposed to meet our goal by 2012. Right now, we already have $178 million. So just a little bit more and we'll be there to our $200 million goal. I'm sure we'll make it. I've got a lot of facts and figures for you, and frankly it's a little bit boring, so it's in my speech that you have a copy of. I'll tell you some of the things. The polio eradication, Polio Plus program has already collected more than $1 billion. That money has gone toward mostly buying vaccines. For 60 cents we can vaccinate a child forever. But if we drop the ball now, if we don't finish, polio will spread like it used to be, back to other countries all around the world. Health, Hunger, and Humanity grants, that's where hunger and clean water and sanitation go, have accounted for $88 million in the past 30 years. Matching grants, there are large matching grants to the tune of $200,000 and above, and then there are many small matching grants that your club can apply for, where your club, along with another club and possibly a third or fourth club in different countries, work together, pool their resources, and then the Rotary Foundation will match the amount that they raise. Most of the funds that we raise are through personal donations and fundraising programs that the individual clubs have. There are Rotary Peace Fellowships where scholars are selected to go to college to a graduate program in a Rotary Peace Center. We have 6 peace centers around the world, and every year we send 60 scholars to the program. Those scholars stay for 2 years and come out with what amounts to a master's degree program in peace and conflict resolution. Then we have the ambassadorial scholarships, where more than 500 college students are selected each year competitively to go to another college at another country and study for a year. Those grants are $25,000 each, so that's a lot of money right there. We also have grants for university teachers to go to another country and teach in that country. My favorite program is the Group Study Exchange, where we send a Rotarian team leader and 4 or sometimes 5 young professionals between the age of 25 and 35 who go to another country, learn about the country and the people and the culture, and learn about how their own job is done in that country, come back with new ideas. I was a team leader in that program, and I took a small team to Switzerland, which was the thrill of my life. It was a wonderful program. There are different ways to contribute to the foundation. As I mentioned before, when $1,000 or more is contributed in your name to the foundation, you become a Paul Harris Fellow. But there's a lower level of that. You can become a Paul Harris Sustaining Member by giving $100 a year. If you think about that, that's $100 sounds like a lot, but it's not really a lot of money. It works out to less than $2 a week. So if you put aside $2 a week for the Rotary Foundation, you can be a Paul Harris Sustaining Member. Many clubs are 100% Paul Harris Sustaining Members. I hope you will choose to do that too. Many clubs also have fundraisers, concerts, programs, things that they do to raise money to contribute as a club to the foundation. I want to thank you for inviting me to come to the club as your speaker today. New clubs are always so exciting. I have helped out in chartering 2 new clubs myself. If you look at the text of my talk, which is on your webpage, you'll see a lot more facts and figures and a lot more information there. I wish you the best as you work and grow and add Rotarians and learn about Rotary. I think you'll find it to be, as I said, the best organization in the world. Best of luck and blessings to you and all your future work.